a good reason why to actually build the button banger part of this control project. I'm liking that. Let me go ahead and put the rest of this thing together however I'm doing it. Oh yes I am, yes I am. Give him some more here. Move this down. Should be alright.
Oh!
Alright, so even after programming the Arduino, it's ever so slightly progressing back towards center at the end of this routine. I need a longer sequence backwards. It's going to be a little difficult to get this timing right, more like a trial and error thing. I'm going to go do that now. You know, this particular instance may be a good reason why to actually build the button banger part of this control project, because I could reprogram this thing down there while I'm watching it, and you know that would be ideal to have it stop at the right section, but I didn't build that part. I didn't think I would need it. You can get by without it. I need to increase this rotation section here. Give that, and we'll give that a shot. Might even be a little bit too much. Maybe I'll go back a little tiny bit. I doubt I'll ever really get it absolutely perfect. And probably it will always be a little off. There's no real way to time this exactly. You're talking about analog devices, analog motors and things. Maybe one notch, but it's pretty damn close. And that's 3 times and he's back up vertical, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is just about perfect. I'm liking that. Let me go ahead and put the rest of this thing together however I'm doing it. Wrap this up anyway, this part. I've got to worry about the legs and getting all that figured out. Alright, so I took the mask and cut a couple of slits in it and then ran zip ties around the whole thing to keep the foam head on. And it seems pretty rugged now. Don't you, little fella? Oh yes I am, yes I am. Not over there, are they? Brenda's down here looking for the zip ties I can't find, that I put away so well that nobody will ever be able to find them or use them. I had this loose before, so his head moved around a little bit. Not how much I like that idea anymore. I was trying to do something way more elaborate. Oh boy. See what happened. This is a mess in here. I think a bigger piece of PVC, the right size in there, is the right thing too. Get rid of that loose thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is not tight enough. It's going to go flying off.
Oh!
Yep. The circuit board cut out. Perfect. Things are working great. Definitely want something bigger than that. Probably wear a filter mask when I'm doing that. I remember watching a documentary about PVC being carcinogenous. This woman who worked in a PVC factory getting cancer and suing the company and trying to convince her family to get the vinyl siding off of their house. Kind of wish I hadn't even flew with this stupid thing now.
Alright, for me to put.
Holy shit. Fill this in. Why is this failing here? Is it too far? So I need more release on the back here. Give him some more here. Move this down. Should be alright. Animated props. This is the fun of them. Now. That's the problem. Now it's too heavy and the circuit keeps shorting out. It's too much for the motor to move around. Boy, oh boy. What a production this thing's turning into. I don't know what to do with this. Well, I suppose one option would be to move this bottom part up so that there's not so much weight up here that it has to move around. There's so much of an angle here, so much momentum carrying this weight around. Maybe put a piece of wood here to here, move this thing up way up here, and then that way we're cutting out this much of the momentum of this thing. Or I could build like a little platform in there for the thing to sit on, like a body. Could do that too. That might look a little better. Yeah, that'll probably be the best way. So I have to build like a little box, throw that underneath the bottom of the Shiatsu motor, raise it up. Hopefully that'll alleviate this, which means I'm going to take all of this apart again. I don't know how much more of this I want to do. I don't know, just for fun I'll try it without the springs and see what happens. I'm sure it'll be 10 times worse. With any luck it'll burn out the damn motor and I can throw this whole thing away. Okay, so taking off the springs was apparently the answer. I thought the springs were helping it get back into position. But he is just all like so animated. I don't know if I want him that much. Maybe I can reprogram the controller just so he goes back and forth. I don't know if I want him coming all the way around like that. Maybe too much when he's coming out this way. I'll show you from the side. He really leans forward a lot. I don't know, it's pretty cool though. Well, I'm glad I didn't take all that shit apart. I don't know, maybe we'll just go with that, because that is a lot of animation. I need to fix this all up though. We were just hiding it with the shirt last time. If you had a turtleneck, that would solve the problem. There's no way to reliably get this stuff up there. I could hot glue it, but I know it won't stick if I hot glue it. It'll just fall off. Well, that crapped out on me. It's just too much. Too much weight, too much momentum, too much moving around. I need to shorten it up maybe. Of course, even though the circuit board resets, which is kind of good, I guess, if it's gonna friggin' freak out like this. I prefer that it just work, but even if it does freak out and reset, at least it'll come back on its own. It's just too much for some reason. It's like there's a feedback from the AC circuit or something into the prop controller. I don't know why. Let's try this. It's too much weight. What if I tighten this down? Let's assume that these are really tight. I think if the animation wasn't so intense, it wouldn't be so bad as far as this resetting bullshit. It does work, it's just not 100% reliable, you know? So I just don't know how confident I am in it. It feels kind of rickety. I don't like rickety. Rickety is bad news. Alright, I have an idea. I think what I'm going to do is address this with the software, and that when he's going in one direction, instead of having it instantly click over to go the other direction, I'm going to have it go, then give it a second for the momentum to stop, and then have it reverse the other direction. And that way it's not fighting against the momentum when the motor needs to reverse, and I think that's the problem that we may be running into. So maybe with software we can fix it. Who's this we? Maybe with software I can fix it. You guys are just watching. Alright, so I'm going to change this off to be 2 ticks instead of 1. And I'm going to go off this direction. And I need to go off in this direction.
I am not an atomic player.
let's try that one. I think that may not be enough still. Take more off. Is that enough time for him to stop thrashing? I mean, I don't want it to be too noticeable, but I want to try to relieve the torque on the motor. We're talking about like what, microseconds here. I'll take even more off. One more. Alright, let's go try this out. Alright, let's see what we got now. Not anywhere near even close to long enough of a shut off. So it's really going to need a really long delay, or I'm just going to have to redo this thing because it's just not happening like this. I think if I cut out all of this stuff in front, it'll be fine. I can do that with the software, or I can move the thing up a little higher. Those are my options. Maybe I'll do both. So let's get on with it because I just can't keep leaving it like this. Guy needs to be a lot lighter than this. It's probably why I don't have problems with the bride. She basically does the same thing, just not anywhere near this heavy. Holy Toledo. I have to take this part off. That wasn't the idea of doing it like this. Call that a big fat failure on this. This thing is so heavy, it's amazing it's even moving at all. That's right, make me take every screw out. Piece of shit. Alright, so I want to thank you for actually sitting through that video. I know it wasn't very entertaining, except unless you're laughing at me failing all over the place, because that was just a big old bucket of fail, that whole thing. And there's a little bit more to come too. In real time, I still have not finished the prop. I've spent most of the time editing video, but I plan on getting back to it this weekend and wrapping it up, because there's just only so much failure that you can have with something until you get some success, and I think I'm on the right track. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and you'll get notifications of when I put out future videos. And I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.